In this episode, I'll be talking about quadratic formula. Let's say you're given all these quadratic equations, and they want us to factor it out. Well, one way to factor all this quadratic equation is to use the quadratic formula. The quadratic formula goes by x equals to negative b plus or minus radical b squared minus 4 times ac divided by 2a. Let's say we're given this quadratic equation 6x squared plus 3x plus 4 equals to 0. To solve this equation, one way to do is use this quadratic formula. So for this equation, the a will be 6, the b will be 3, and the c will be 4. So to solve this quadratic equation, all you need to do is just plug in this number into the quadratic formula. To do that, so the b, the b, you plug it into right here. It's because the quadratic formula says the b is negative b, so you put b as 3 plus or minus radical b squared, which is 3, minus 4 times ac. The a is 6, the c is 4, divided by 2 times the a. The a is 6. So once you plug in all the number, the next step is to calculate this quadratic formula. So negative 3 stays the same, plus or minus radical stays the same. 3 squared equals to 9. You put down the minus. 4 times 6 times 4 equals to 96. 2 times 6 equals to 12. So 9 minus 96 equals to negative 90. The negative 3 plus minus radical stays the same. The 12 stays the same. Every time you have a radical with a negative inside the radical, you need to put an imaginary number next to it. So the imaginary number will be I. So negative 3 plus minus I radical 90. Why do you put an I? Because once you put an I, you will get rid of the negative radical inside the radical. So you're left with the 90 divided by 12. So notice that 90, you could actually reduce it further. So 93 divided by 3 equals to 30. 30 divided by 3 equals to 10. And 2 is also divisible by 10 by 5. So 3 times 3 is 9, which is not radical 9. And you're left with 2 times 5, which is 10, radical 10. So the radical 9 can be reduced further to 3. And the 10 stays the same because you cannot think of any other number that could be a prime of 10. So this negative 3 plus or minus I radical 90 divided by 12 will become negative 3 plus or minus I 3 radical 10 divided by 12. Once you have this number right here, the plus or minus can be separated out into like this. So it will be negative 3 plus 3I radical 10 divided by 12. And the other number will be negative 3 minus 3I divided by minus 3I radical 10 divided by 12. So the 2x value for this quadratic equation will be this. Why? Because the 3 is divisible by 12 by 4. So it's actually 3, right here is 1. 3 times what equals to 12 is 4. So it will be -1 plus I, because 3 right here also cancel, becomes 1. So it will be I radical 10 divided by 4. As for this one, the negative, notice this one is positive and this one is negative. It's a separation from right here. So 3 is divisible by 12 4 times. The same thing as for right here, also 4. So left with -1 minus I radical 10 divided by 4. So the answer for this quadratic equation using the quadratic formula is this one and this one.